Hi guys, me again. I had a little bit of an epiphany that I wanted to share with you guys. And I was just wondering, as a part of this epiphany, who remembers the Choose Your Own Adventure stories? I think it was Goosebumps from memory, and it was kind of like, the story, and it was like every page sort of told you a little bit more, and at the bottom of the page you had two choices. Either go to the sort of follow the path down to the graveyard or go upstairs to the attic, or things like that. And it was each time it led you to a different page, and you read again, you had another two choices, and it sort of all led you to a different ending at the end of the book. And I was thinking about it. I don't even know where it occurred to me, but I was thinking about it, and I thought how interesting that was as an analogy of life. Our lives are by definition our choose your own adventures. Every choice that we make, every decision, every sort of action leads us to our next page, and on that page then delivers us with a certain set of information, and then we have another set of choices to make. And I found it really interesting because I thought that's actually a really amazing analogy. And then I sort of thought about how I used to read these books. And basically what I used to do is I used to skip to the back of the book, read the different endings, because there's usually, 3 or 4 or whatever, figure out which ending I wanted and work my way backwards to figure out what choices I needed to make to get to the ending that I wanted. And I find that actually really interesting, because if I had have absorbed this as a 15-year-old, I would have been sort of on point for my goal setting. My motivation would have been off the charts. I would have been so much more productive, because that's what we do. And when we've got a goal and we've got a sort of massive end game, what we should be doing is looking at where we want to be, and then tracing backwards the kind of decisions that we need to make to get there from where we are now. It's like that old, I'm assuming it's an old sort of analogy as well of, our life is like a book, and it's, every time you're in a situation, there's always another page, and this is not the end of the story. And I was just, it just really occurred to me that was something that could actually be used as general life advice, and how unconventional that is, because it's something that I honestly have not thought of before, but I feel like it's something that, everyone has sort of experienced. I feel like there's like a choose your own adventure sort of vibe for every generation. I know now they've got like those apps on your phone where you do the same thing, and it's like, oh, I'm pregnant and who's the father, and you have to choose, and it then leads you to the next step. And I kind of just wanted to put that out there and give you this epiphany, and basically let you run with it. I want you to have a think about sort of where you want to be, what the end of your story is, or not even the end of the story, but even the next chapter. Set a goal for where you want to be, and then trace backwards and start to really think about the kind of choices that you need to make in order to get there. I just really encourage you to not settle for the page that you're on. Once, to keep with the book theme, once the page is written, it's written, right? There's no amount of changing that. You can only move forward, basically. A story doesn't make sense reading it backwards, or if you skip pages, or there's no point trying to plan to leapfrog from where you are at the beginning of your story to where you want to be at the end. And if you don't put some thought into the choices that you're making along the way, you end up potentially with an ending that you didn't want. So I kind of just wanted to leave that with you guys for the weekend. You've got probably most of you have one more day of work, and then we've got a couple of days of rest, and just have a think about that, and just see what your ending is going to be. Your entire life is in your hands. You are the only person that can control which way it goes. And I know you can't always control every situation that you're in. There are some situations that, obviously other people are involved, or there's different environments, and so sometimes you do find yourself in places or in situations that aren't exactly what you want. I just want to remind you and to encourage you to look for your choices. You're not stuck there is always something that you can do, and it doesn't need to be huge. You don't need to have the right answer to get you to exactly where you want to be right now. You just need to make this the step to the next page or the next chapter, or whatever it is for you that next point of your life is. So yeah, it's just really short and sweet. I know normally I sort of send you away with things to do, but this is just really something for you to think about, to ruminate on, if you will, and just see if that's something that can apply to you or can help you move forward in your life. So if there's anything that you do want to talk about, or if you have any great stories about these ridiculous choose your own adventure books, please let me know. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you about it. But otherwise, like I said, just have a think. See if that analogy applies to you, and I just really encourage you to look at what page you're on and what your choices are, and how those choices can lead you to the ending that you want and that you deserve. So if you want to talk about it more, let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic end of week and weekend, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.